Come join me to enter the mind of my colleague Minty as we expose her in ways that she will be so uncomfortable. I have warned her beforehand, if I expose her butthole too wide, we must stop the podcast.
But I assume the audience would like it.
Yeah, well, that drama.
A journey into my mind is a trip.
I'm Annie. I have done hours, years, days of research going inside the mind of Minty to figure out what type of anime characters does she like.
It's kind of true. You've known me for years.
And days.
And days.
This is FunUntitled, and we're going inside Minty's butthole.
I'm Minty.
Yeah, that's a, what do you call that? The study?
The test subject?
Yeah, whatever. So, a little pretext. We have an Excel sheet of all the animes and mangas we ever watched and read. Doesn't mean we remembered all those mangas and animes. We each filled out who our favorite characters in that series are, and we're doing a call-out post because we think the other person is more basic than the other.
Have shitty taste.
Yes. I will go first. For my research is so mind-blowing that Minty might want to copy me because, I'm a trendsetter.
A little preview to Annie's one. Blue, water, glasses, love themes, done.
Shut up. Alright, Minty, tell the audience. Describe your personality.
My personality?
Yes.
I always thought I've had like a two-sided personality, the comfort and like the uncomfort. Comfort is just kind of more brash, aggressive, stubborn, doesn't take shit. But then like uncomfortable, like, when I'm working out or like being in public, working in the workplace, more compromising, diligent, not patient. I'm not patient in any setting.
But either way, would you call yourself a leader?
Leader-ish. I guess not really. More of a manager than anything.
Well, you take charge, correct?
Sure.
You take no nonsense.
Yeah.
No fooling around.
Right.
That's why almost all your favorite characters goes into 3 categories. The take no nonsense leader, the prodigy, and the badass professional.
I wasn't expecting this to be some weird therapy.
No. You don't understand. Okay, I need to get this done and then I'm gonna expose your dumb ass.
So wait, no nonsense leader, the prodigy, and what's the third one?
The badass professional.
The badass professional.
Because, yes or no, one of your favorite series of all times, in the beginning, God bless his soul, was Toriko.
I still like that series.
And the reason why you liked Toriko, because it was a manga all about gourmet hunters hunting food, and for the most part, they were all experts.
Yes.
Yes. That's my number one example of your favorite professional, is that you really like Coco, the poison gourmet hunter.
Yes.
And then, for a no-nonsense leader, our number one example is Balalaika from the manga/anime Black Lagoon, which is, it's dark, y'all, but Balalaika is the Russian leader of the mafia?
Yes.
And she takes no shit. She knows what she wants, and she will cut off your dick.
They already said she's not interested in sex in the series.
Oh, neat. Ace?
Not like in that way. More in a, she'd rather kill you than have sex with you kind of way.
That's what we all gotta strive. And your number one Prodigy example is Karma from Assassination Classroom.
Oh, I guess so, yeah.
And, Assassination Classroom is all about, what? The plot's so normal. It's just a class, trying to kill the teacher.
Who's an alien trying to destroy the moon.
And they're all basically flunkies who's actually really smart.
Actually, he's really trying to teach them things and, more importantly, give them character growth.
Okay, but those are your 3 things, okay? You like the no-nonsense, you like to go straight to the point, you don't like all this fudding around.
I think Prodigy's the weakest one, but I get what you're going with.
Well, you also like L from Death Note.
He's the most favorite one.
This kind of bullshit, because I know a lot of them's like, you don't really care about these people.
If I had a most favorite character of that series, I put them down. But that doesn't necessarily mean, like, when you take all of them, who's at the top, not all of them will be there.
Because the other people I put as, like, Prodigy people is Son Gohan from Dragon Ball.
Oh, I love Gohan.
Yeah. And Almine from Kuroko no Basket.
Okay, yeah, he is a prodigy.
And then Sho Suzuki from Mob Psycho 100.
Oh, yeah, I guess there's a thing, huh?
Yeah, and then last example is Bakugo from My Hero Academia.
You had a million other examples and you went with Karma.
He's the first one that came to mind. I like Karma, screw you.
It's okay.
But okay, like I said, this is the point where we expose your butthole. Anyone who knows you knows no nonsense. However, there are some characters on this list I need you to go understand and defend defend your reason why you like this character.
Oh, is this what we're doing?
That's what we're doing, because I'm looking at
bitch.
this list and I'm like, well, she's gonna have to explain herself because this makes no sense. Like, everyone else makes sense except for the few that I got. By the way, the small outliers that you also like, but wasn't enough to make a category, but, you know, it's a little honorary mention. It's the tomboy girl. It's that girl from the red Madoka from Madoka, and that tomboy girl from Nozaki-kun.
I feel like that should be a category. Do I not have enough?
You do not really have enough. You technically have Diane from Nanatsu no Taizai, but I don't think she's a tomboy.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like she's a tomboy, but really trying to be girly girl.
Yeah, but tomboy girl, that's a fourth category on its own. That didn't really match the three themes. But first discrepancy. I took speech therapy for this.
Discrepancy.
Yes. Why is Megumi from Food Wars and Konichi your favorite character from Konichi the Strongest Disciple?
You know, I will admit, Megumi is a extremely strange choice. Reading Food Wars, if you haven't, Megumi has always taken the second seat to literally everyone. But she's like this cute country girl who's really trying to make it in the big city. And her style of cooking isn't the most unique. It's just very like home cooking in the country style. But I also think, in a sense, unique, like how she did the monkfish curry. Like, that's an amazing scene. I love that scene. It's like season 2. Yeah.
It's interesting because, like I said, you like prodigies.
Yes.
But Megumi is like the biggest underdog in Food Wars.
Yeah, you know, I mean, if you think about it, someone like Erina, or like the second seat with the red hair, or anyone else, honestly.
Yeah, because the second seat, she fulfills the tomboy requirement.
I do like her, but if you read the manga or watch the 4th or 5th plate, her role isn't very strong.
Real fast. So the Japanese name is Shogeki no Soma, right?
Right.
And we read something called Kuroko no Basket. It's the Japanese title for Food Wars is the food that Soma cooked.
I think it's Soma's Food Wars.
Oh shit. That's stupid. That's a stupid title. What's the other manga we read where it was like blanks blank?
Hikaru no Go.
There we go. So Megumi was just a very interesting choice. But what about Konichi? Because now, you know Food Wars. That's all about cooking. Konichi's a little bit obscure, so people who don't know, it's literally about this boy who's trying to learn a bunch of martial arts to, you know, evidently impress a girl. And
which is pretty weak.
yeah, but he has 5 really cool masters. But you pick Konichi as your favorite. The giant underdog.
You know, what I kind of notice is that whenever I read a sports manga or a martial arts manga or even like a fantasy adventure action manga, my favorite arc is usually the one about character growth and development. Like the one that has a significant change. The one that like, okay, we've set the character's basics. Now this arc is going to change all the perspective. And then it makes that character grow exponentially stronger after that. I feel like Konichi is just all pretty much that middle part. Everything is always him learning something new. I mean, he's the most dynamic character because he is the student of many martial art masters. And so you really learn with him. And it's just, you know, he's funny. He's got a good moral compass. The whole he can't fight a girl thing is a bit ridiculous, but other than that, you know?
God, I'm sick of that.
Yes.
It'd be like that.
I think that's why I like him. I mean, the masters are great, but they're really just pigeonholed in their one role.
Okay, I get that. Okay. Discrepancy number 2.
3.
Oh, is it?
Megumi, Kenichi.
Oh no, that's number 1. That's like, you like underdog.
Oh, okay.
Because that was like because it didn't really match with everything else, because you like characters that know what they're doing, they're very professional. But the 2 underdogs was like, why are they on the list?
Okay.
It was also very interesting because it just seemed like there was other characters in those shows that would have hit the requirements. Like there's so many prodigies, like you said, in Food Wars.
And there's so many veterans in Kenichi.
Yes. There was some. Okay, discrepancy number 2. I need you to admit, on record, you do not like children.
I do not like children.
Okay, because there is a lot of series where you could have picked a child, because the main cast is like children, and you pick either like the one adult or like the most mature child of the group.
Okay.
Because in Haikyuu, you picked Oikawa, who's like, I would say kind of like one of the most matures compared to, Tanaka.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Koi Cat's Sakura. That's the one that got me the most. Your favorite, out of Sakura and Sharon, the two most popular shoujo series characters, your favorite was Sakura's gay brother.
That one's hard to explain. Because, I watched the anime as a kid. I read the manga like high school, early college. The boy works hard. And I don't know, I feel like I connect a lot with him. He works hard, watches over his sister, gay as fuck.
Gay as fuck.
Like, gay as fuck. Sacrificial to the cause. Boy just works hard. And he does a lot of different jobs to help his family. Or just to get experience, or just be a good boy, I don't know.
Okay. The only example that really broke that tie, like, you tend not to pick children, was Black Butler, Elizabeth, whatever.
Midford.
Yeah, well,
I wrote the name down.
Whatever. I didn't know how to pronounce it. Don't put me on the spot. But she's like such a badass prodigy, so of course you picked her. See? Another prodigy.
Prodigy.
And like in Blue Exorcist, you picked Ryuji? Is that his name? Suguro?
Yeah.
Because he's the most mature kid, and
from Blue Exorcist.
Blue Exorcist, yeah. The Blue Exorcist, the manga that I dropped during the Illuminati art.
I gotta get back into it.
Got it. The anime wouldn't even pick it up. But I know why you didn't pick any adults from Blue Exorcist.
That one's a pretty crappy series. Except the Kyoto arc. The Kyoto arc is extremely good.
Blue Exorcist's problem, one of them, is that they introduce too many characters in the order, but they don't develop them, so you just have a bunch of useless adults.
I think my problem is kind of like what the same thing Black Clover has, is that they keep harping on something, and it's like, let's move on.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I get it, he's the devil kid, but all you do is yell at him, and then you don't do anything. Like, move on. That's why the Hero of Academia needs to go into these series and rewrite this shit, because it is the best series in terms of, society writing, of how, characters affect what's going on, which we'll eventually do an episode.
But yeah, so My Academia makes the best world building. Well, society, because definitely better than One Piece, society-wise, but One Piece does better, creative worlds. Because my god, One Piece, I'm sick of this dictator is ruling over this kingdom unjustly, and someone needs to change it. That's not society, that's a formula.
They do a little bit of society, though. When a warlord gets taken over, or when a pirate of a high name dies.
Yeah.
Things like that. But they're very, linear. I feel like My Academia really, gets all the angles, and you see how everything affects each other.
Okay, fair enough. Anyways, I'm gonna move on to my discrepancy 3. So, something that I noticed is that you do tend to like the stoic straight man character. Not straight as in sexuality, but in a comedy duo, you have the really outlandish person, and you have something called a straight man to reel them back in, or to point out how crazy that is.
You always need a foil.
Always need a foil. Some examples is that, number one example I would say, in Air Gear, if you don't know Air Gear, y'all, let me just explain. It's a trip. It's not good, but we read it. In Air Gear, there's something called regalias that people put on their little rollerblades to make them have supernatural powers. And so if you have a regalia, you're considered a leader. So there's a lot of leaders in Air Gear. But your favorite character that you picked was someone named Kazuma, who's kind of like that relatable straight man character.
Right.
And I think it's because all the leaders in Air Gear, correct me if I'm wrong, was all cryptic assholes.
To be fair, all the characters in Air Gear were pretty terrible. I felt like they were these kids who were playing mid-40s life crisis roles, and it just didn't match. And I just felt... This was the only character I felt was an actual teenager.
Okay.
Except for Nigiri. Nigiri was he was a perverted man in general, regardless of age.
I would like to just point out, in the manga, they had a girl character that they needed to write out because the creator of Air Gear just did not like her. And they wrote her out by saying she was possessed by Obama and needed to go back to America to do Obama things. And I was like, okay, I guess we're doing this now. Anyways, I bring up Air Gear because you like the relatable straight man character.
Sure.
On the list you gave me, your favorite JoJo character is Joseph Joestar. He's kind of like that Prodigy category too, I would say.
Right.
But he is the most cockiest mother effer in the entire series. And I want you to try explain to me. So if it's a Venn diagram circle, you have a circle full of people with strong powers. And you have people who are cocky and the circles overlap, but you don't really like cocky characters, if you know what I'm saying. Like, why don't you like more cocky characters? Because those are the characters who knows their hot shit.
It isn't cocky characters I like. I do actually really like overly confident characters, but their bite has to match their bark.
And do you think like there's a lot of characters in animes who don't?
I think a lot of times when you watch a series, the battles get one-sided. So one's losing, then the other side's losing, the other side's losing, and then all of a sudden this great strength comes out and it's like, I'm gonna win. And that's great, but that's just whatever to me. And then there's sometimes, I'm gonna talk big so that the other character can really shine through, who doesn't really say anything, is more humble.
Yeah.
Fine. My favorite scene of Bleach, I would say number one, but there could be others, is the fight Byakuya has against one of the Espadas. You remember this? This is when they're
You do not shut up about it.
This is when...
Like, we've known each other how many years? Like 5?
This is when Byakuya is they're just arguing with each other a little bit on like, oh, you're the arrogant one for thinking you can beat me. Byakuya pretty much kills him instantaneously, and it's like so good. I do love characters who are overly confident, but not arrogant enough to be like, they end up losing.
So you think you like characters whose more the action will explain their power more than the words?
Yeah, and if you think about it, Joseph does some really crazy, stupid things, but that's JoJo.
Yeah.
That is a JoJo series to the max of just like the impossible happening. Why they can get away with it is another discussion.
Okay. This is my last discrepancy, and it's not really a discrepancy. I'd just like you to explain yourself. So, some animes and mangas, there's a clear leader, but sometimes that would not be your favorite. Instead, your favorite will be the right-hand man, and like that's who I put in the category of like the professionals.
Okay.
You tend to like the professional second right-hand man more if the leader themselves are more like, hey, we're all friends here. Like, I'm the strongest, and I take charge, but, we're all nakama. So they don't really take no nonsense. They are all nonsense. So you're like, nah, chief. I'm gonna go second in command. My number one example of this is in One Piece, because Luffy is clearly the strongest leader, right? Everyone believes in Luffy, but your favorite character is Zolo.
Yeah.
Why do you not like leaders who are like, hey, we're just friends here?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know why. I tend to like characters that have conflict. And I don't mean like, I just want to fight like Goku. I mean like, they get into situations with other characters. I don't know what I'm explaining, because Zolo is not really that either. Dude's just like, I'm gonna do whatever the captain wants to do.
I think Zolo is a good example of him being like a strict professional is when he didn't, this is spoilers for One Piece, y'all, but when he didn't let Luffy accept Usopp back on the ship.
Oh, yeah.
Because we had to have a strong moral code. If we let this precedent slide that you can just disrespect our captain, then I don't even know what I'm doing here.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. Because Zolo is clearly my number one favorite of One Piece.
This also happens in the anime that Aislinn.
Oh.
He picked his right-hand man instead, because obviously Aislinn's a kid.
Oh, Aislinn's a piece of shit.
And in Inuyasha, Inuyasha kind of takes lead, but then you go to Songo.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Inuyasha.
Bullshit. That's fine, but whatever. But that's just the trend I saw of like, the main quote-unquote leader dude he doesn't take charge as much as you would like, so you're gonna go with the most professional in the crew.
Look, we all know that all my favorite characters just boil down to who's the most badass.
Yes.
Except Megumi. I don't know why she's
No. I've talked about the outliers. Don't worry.
Alright, fine. You're the outliers.
Yeah.
But I think that's what it basically boils down to. If they're the most badass character, they're probably my favorite. Like Mereoleona, Bakugo. You consider Oikawa a badass?
Oh, hell yeah. Are you kidding me? No offense, he's the first cool character I saw.
Fair enough. And, okay, spoiler for Haikyuu, he does go to Argentina.
Yeah, boys.
To, like, really follow his dream. Like, to do everything his child self wanted to do.
But you like badass characters, and you don't like the characters who's like, all talk, like how badass I am. You want to see them action. You want to see them move and be badass.
I want to see them, like, fight to the death.
But Luffy's badass.
Very.
Why isn't he your favorite? Why is Zolo edge him out?
I don't think I'm really into the Sunshine characters.
Yeah, that's what I wanted you to say. We
Oh,
made our mental breakthrough. You do not like children because they have innocence and happiness, and Luffy is too childlike. You think if they are not professional and take charge, they're too childlike.
Oh.
And thus, the thesis of my project, you hate kids.
I've already admitted that. You said, I want you to say you hate kids. Okay, I hate kids.
Yeah. I needed the whole thing to go in a circle so that way people think I'm... You know when in English essays, your conclusion paragraph need to match your intro paragraph?
You just tie it all together.
Yeah, I gotta tie it all in one neat bow. And thus we have entered the mind of Minty and came out alive. I hope you had fun. What did you think of the experience? How would you rate me? Am I saying the word rate right? Rate me on Yelp.
RATE, right?
Yes.
Not like...
No. Rate me, damn it.
My anal glands are fully expressed.
Yeah. I don't think people who don't know you have to do that to dogs understand that phrase.
It's funny.
But yeah, thanks for coming. There's a part 2 where Minty will try to read me. They will not succeed.
Water, love, glasses.
Shut the fuck up!